evening, folks. My name is Jayren Andrews, and I'm the president of the Avondale Youth Council. Tonight's segment is about unity and health. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook on Avondale Youth Council and me on Instagram at KIDD_Juice. And tonight, to my left, we have Ms. Imami Brazzile, one of the Youth Council members. How you doing tonight? How long have you been a part of the Youth Council?
Since this summer.
What has your
Last summer.
experience been with it so far?
Pretty good.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
What's been one of your best events?
The cheetah run.
The cheetah run?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
It was nice.
Was it? It's your first time on TV. What's going on? What's going through your head right now?
I don't know.
You don't know? It'd be like that sometimes. First time I was on TV, I was a little nervous, but you'll get used to it. So, one thing I want to talk about is the running club. How exactly does the youth council work with that?
You basically run every Saturday morning, and yeah.
We run every Saturday morning. Why do we run? Why do we run with the running club?
Because so we can stay in shape, so we can exercise.
Why is exercising important, especially for the youth perspective?
So we can stay fit and be healthy.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add on to that? Are there any sports that you play in school?
Basketball.
That's it?
Yep.
So does that cause for a lot of running and exercise?
Yeah.
So with the running club, do you run a lot?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Sometimes. What do you normally do?
Sometimes I walk and run.
Do you? What's the longest you've ran with the Avondale Running Club?
I think 5 miles.
Really?
I believe. I don't know.
You ran 5 miles with the
3
running club?
miles.
3?
Probably, or 4.
Which one is it?
3, 4, or 5.
3,
One of those.
3, 4, 5. We can work on that. So, what exactly is the purpose of the Avondale Running Club?
To keep the youth. To keep the youth healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what events have we done?
With the running club. Or
Yes.
Cheetah run, in the street.
I believe the Feet in the Street was actually an Avondale race itself. Would you like to talk to us about that?
Yeah. I think it was the first race in Avondale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so it was the first race, and it was nice.
It was nice. Nothing else you'd like to add on to it? Nothing about Marcellus being first place? You, me, and Marcellus being the top team in the race?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We just, so.
Okay. So, your personal experience with the youth council and the running club. What about that keeps you coming? Your personal experience, the things that you've been through with the youth council and the running club.
I don't know. I guess I just like that we get to run and I guess marathons and stuff, and they teach us how to run, how to breathe when you're running and stuff, and I guess it's good information to know.
Mm-hmm. That's good to know. Are there any plans for 2015 with the youth council collaborating with the running club?
I guess to get more kids involved.
Mm-hmm.
Just not kids that's in Avondale Youth Council, but kids that live in Avondale in general.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you connect with your friends different from school and with the running club when it comes to exercising?
When I exercise with my friends, it's pretty much at practice.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the coach tells us to do, we do.
So how can you do that with people in the youth council?
I guess make it more structured. Instead of just running, I think we should do more exercises.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just running every Saturday.
And is there any advice for the youth listening to us tonight?
just stay healthy and fit.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
This month is Minority Health Month. We want to keep in mind that unity and health is the topic for tonight. My name is Jayren Andrews. To my left is Miss Imami Brazzile. Thank you all for listening. We'll be right back.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
As days go by, when will you realize that very little will change until you change it?
I am empowered.
Get connected to make a difference. Take the pledge. Text EMPOWER to 69866 or go to IamEmpowered.com. The National Urban League.
My brothers and sisters, I challenge everyone in this room this evening not to become impatient with our struggle, not to become weary with our outcomes, not to become financially reluctant with our programs, and not to become indifferent about the health of blacks, Latinos, and poor whites who live in communities that guarantees them a shorter and sicker life than their white brothers and sisters. We don't stack the deck against some of the members of our community, that we don't devalue the life of someone because of their color or what side of the tracks that they come from, but recognize that all men and women are created equal, and equality must be reflected in health and health care. Our journey continues.
We have some of the greatest health institutions in the world here in Cincinnati. And if you see the crowd here, and if you know the crowd that Dwight can reach and the people that he can reach, the very people that we talk about trying to reach, we can get this job done. And the mission for the next 10 years, and I hope to help, is to close that gap. And I know that no one like my friend Dwight Tillery can do it better, and so I look forward to working with him to close that gap. Thank you very much.
And we're back on the show. We want to keep in mind that tonight's segment is Unity and Health, and this month is Minority Health Month. To my left, we have Ms. Jasmine Humphries. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, Jayren.
And what we want to talk about tonight is, what exactly is mental health?
Are you asking me what mental health is?
Yes, ma'am.
So, mental health, I would say, is the stability of the the thoughts. So either the stability or instability of the thoughts that go on in your mind and how they affect your actions and your emotions. So that's basically what mental health. That's essentially what mental health is.
Right. How does mental health affect our everyday lives?
So, mental health affects our everyday lives because depending on whether or not our minds are balanced, it can affect our ability to carry out activities. It can prevent us from completing things effectively. It can keep us from maintaining healthy relationships. Or on a positive note, mental health can help you. So having a balanced mind can help you to do great things in life.
Right. So mental health can really have a good side and a bad side. On the pro side, as far as having mental health, it would be causing of a good self-esteem, having positive energy, along with people that does the same. Am I correct?
Yes.
For the negative side, the con side of mental health, as far as really overthinking a lot of things, not being prepared and organized as far as how to set yourself for the goals and how you want to achieve them. Okay. So with the Youth Council, what is our campaign, our mental health awareness campaign? How are we contributing to that?
So I was recently contacted by Ms. Evelyn Sears, who works with the Hamilton County Mental Health Department and Journey for Successful Living. And she was mentioning to me, because I'm a yoga teacher and a holistic health coach, that she was doing sessions, community listening sessions on mental health awareness. And since I'm working with the Youth Council again, I was like, who better to get the word out about mental health in Avondale than the Avondale Youth Council.
Exactly.
And also, the month of May, which is coming up soon, is Children's Mental Health Awareness Month. So it's really important for our youth to take on leadership roles and to also learn more about mental health and how it affects our communities, because there's really a lot of like negative stigmas attached to mental health and mental illness in our communities.
Right. How will our youth be more involved with spreading the word of mental health awareness?
So in several ways. So one thing that's important for our youth, which we don't always learn in school, is to learn about identifying different mental illnesses, learning different practices to calm our own minds, and also to make people feel more comfortable about mental illness and how to address it. You're a youth. How does health awareness affect you?
Well, it affects me. I guess I'm more on the positive side of mental health. I try to stay around positive energy, and I keep myself maintained and focused mentally, real organized and productive on where I want to go and how I want to get things done. Some things that really on the last minute, I can't really think about things under pressure, or I would start to overthink them, and that would start to cause a problem for me. But I feel that's really minor and something I can work on a daily basis. But to actually spread the word of mental health, I feel it'd be used more for social media, because with more media coverage, it's getting the word out there faster and more spread it around. So that's when we can do it. Also, we can take it to our schools, have our principals announce it. We can talk about it to our friends, because it's not really a bad thing to talk about. It's more on the educational side and actually pretty beneficial to help teens today. So, what events will we have going on to actually support mental health awareness?
Well, you just discussed, well, not really events. So the events will ultimately be up to the members of the Avondale Youth Council with support of adults and community leaders in the neighborhood. So it is the Avondale Youth Council's mental health awareness campaign. And we can host anything. We can host a listening session, which would be cool to have it be youth led. You can host a party. You can do anything you want.
Okay, we can work on that. One thing you have to do is to our viewers and actually people all around us is when we talk to them, actually have them listen and understand the pros and cons of mental health and how it affects us. Because one day or not, it will be a time when it affects us, and we have to pay attention to what's really going on in the real world rather than keeping it to ourselves and staying in a bubble that keeps us isolated from everyone else. Yes. So, is there any advice for the youth or anyone in general listening to us tonight?
My advice is always, because I am a yoga teacher and I study Ayurveda, is remember to breathe. So seriously, sometimes like last night in our meeting with the youth council, Ozzy talked about like with each breath you become a new person, all of this stuff, right? But sometimes we forget that we're breathing. So being mindful of your breath, remember that you're breathing.
To take advantage of each step you take. Understand that completely.
It can calm your mind. It can calm your thoughts down. It can slow them down.
Well, thank you for joining the show tonight. I want to appreciate you for coming. This is Ms. Jasmine Humphries, and we want to remind you all that this month is Minority Health Month, and we want to keep in mind that the segment is Unity and Health. My name is Jayren Andrews, and we'll be right back.
In these food deserts, you don't have to be in prison to be on death row. Everyone deserves access to fresh food, so we can all live healthier lives. Join us in closing the health gap in Greater Cincinnati and bring hope to all communities by helping everyone do right.
I had diabetes, and I didn't even know it.
America's the land of opportunity, but our urban populations, our most vulnerable neighbors, get sicker and die faster than others. It's preventable and unacceptable. The health gap improves the well-being of our entire community. From health screenings to healthy eating programs, we're making a difference.
The health gap helped save my life.
Join the campaign to end health inequities. Volunteer, donate, advocate. Help us save a life.
I'm Mayor John Cranley, and I believe that every citizen deserves the best chance to be healthy and live a long life. But in our city, there are vulnerable populations who get sicker and die faster than others. It's preventable and it's unacceptable. The Center for Closing the Health Gap is working hard to improve the well-being of our entire community. From health screenings to healthy eating programs, the health gap is making a difference. So join the campaign to end health inequities. Volunteer, donate, advocate. Help us save a life.
It's Cartoon Network's Move It Movement. Let me show you around. We can play in my tree fort, or crawl around in my secret tunnel, or break all this wood with a hammer, or get blown around by this thing.
Any fun physical activity is great.
Hey, Grandpa. See, isn't this fun?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Just get up, get moving, come on, let's go.
Really? To find out more, go to moveitmovement.com.
Join the movement. Move It Movement.
It's worth it.
In these food deserts.
And we're back this evening for the last segment of the show. You want to keep in mind that this month is Minority Health. And to my left, we have Mr. Ozzy Davis. How are you doing tonight?
Doing really good, Jayren. How are you?
I'm good. Tonight, we'd like to talk about Avondale Active. What is that?
Well, we received a grant from the Interact for Health Foundation, and it's a Thriving Communities grant to make the neighborhood better in regard to active living.
Okay.
So what we call it here in Avondale, and there are approximately 11 thriving communities in this program, but what we call our Thriving Communities initiative here in Avondale is Avondale Active.
Okay.
You ever heard that one song, Radioactive?
Yes, sir.
If you can imagine, you know, that song and Avondale Active, you know, like that. We want to spice up the communities feeling around being active this spring and summer, And we think that the Thriving Communities Initiative gives us that opportunity to do just that.
I feel it. How will we work with that?
Well, we thought that in Avondale, our strength was in our collaborations.
Mhm.
So there were a number of organizations that came together to propose this Thriving Community project.
Okay.
A lot of organizations, the Avondale Running Club, as you know, is very active in physical activity. So is Hirsch Recreation Center. So is the U.S. Bank Boys and Girls Club. So is Avondale Moves. So is Rockdale with Zumba and the physical activity that's going on there. So is our partners at the Choice Neighborhoods and the Community Builders, TCB. And we got all these people around the table. And we said, we really want to be more active in the neighborhood. Since we're doing the annual Feet in the Street walk in October 17th, make sure you save the date. We thought that if we could utilize the power of the collaboration to tell the story of how you can be fit, what things that you can benefit from in all those areas, that people would be more active. So we're really hoping that the activities that each of the partner groups, that those activities they partake in will be sounding boards for other activities. So if you're at the U.S. Bank Boys and Girls Club, where they believe Fit for Life is one of their mantras, we want the U.S. Bank Boys and Girls Club to tell their youth and parents about activities that the Avondale Running Club are partaking in. We want the Avondale Running Club folk to tell people about what's going on at Hirsch Recreation Center, where you can do line dancing and you can do so many things. And they've got, they're about to do Pilates and they're about to do yoga right here in Avondale. So we want more people to get active, Avondale active, around physical activity.
So from what my understanding is, strength is within numbers. The more people we have to collaborate with, the more we can reach out to Avondale and actually cause a chain reaction movement to get Avondale off its feet.
That is 100% our theory. Our assumption is that if we work together,
okay,
and really explaining or pushing positivity,
yes,
that we can change the culture in this neighborhood particularly. And I think you've already seen that. So the Avondale Runner Club and the Avondale Community Council had partaken in a county program that was called We Thrive. And with the We Thrive monies and function, we got signs across the neighborhood. We got 1 mile signs, 3 mile signs, 5 mile signs, and you've seen an uptick of people actually out walking.
Yes, sir.
Out running. I think the program you all do with the Avondale Runner Club on Saturday morning is exceptional. More people should come out, but we think if we can really promote it, get it out there.
Okay.
The grant is really about being more intentional around the promotions. It's a health promotions opportunity, and we want to focus on physical activity. And if we can get more people being intentional about being active, I think, even myself, I think I'm going to be the poster child.
Okay.
So here we sit in April with me at a certain weight. Let's see where I'm at the end of June.
Okay.
After I've been Avondale active.
This is exactly what this show is about tonight. Unity within health, Avondale Active, how we want to get people together to collaborate with one another as far as reaching physical fitness and getting Avondale up and running again, right?
I mean, it's apropos. It's Minority Health Month. It's a big deal that here in the city's largest African American neighborhood that we're discussing how to be more active, how to be more physically fit. You can have $1 million, but if you're sick on that bed, it's not going to help you. You can be the happiest man in the world with a great wife and great kids, and if you can't move, it's not going to help you. So here in Avondale, health has long been the priority. I've been involved in the neighborhood for over 20 years, and it has always been our priority, good health. And I think, with Pill Hill and with the Center for Closing the Health Gap, with other health partners, I didn't even say Gabriel's Place, who is a partner of ours in this grant, we really have an opportunity to take advantage of being more active and being more healthy.
Yes, sir. Two things I was going to ask you was the adult and youth contributions. But from everything you're telling me, I'm understanding that the Youth Council is a part of the youth contribution as being with the running club, running with them every Saturday morning, taking part in the 5K races and marathons, and actually running in the Flying Pig 5K marathon coming up in May. How can the adults be involved with this?
Well, I think even in the good book it said the children will lead, and in Avondale that's been one of our strategies to make sure that we have the youth out front. So, one of our biggest partners in this grant is Children's Hospital, and thank you, Tori. And with Children's, their focus is children, but we've been focusing more and more on parent engagement and getting parents involved with the activities of their youth. And that's one of our strategies with this opportunity as well. If we're at the Boys Club, or if we're at the schools, or we're working with the AYC, or we're at Hirsch, and the interaction is with youth, we really want to be more active with their parents and guardians as well.
Thank you. I want to thank you for coming out tonight.
I was so excited when you gave me a call. I really appreciate it.
This month is Minority Health Month. I want to let you all know my name is Jayren Andrews, the president of the Avondale Youth Council, and right here is Mr. Ozzie Davis. Tonight's segment is Unity in Health. We want to thank you all for listening. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at Avondale Youth Council and on Instagram at KIDD_Juice. Thank you all for listening. Good night.